Welcome back to the ZeroW Podcast, where we talk about lifting, coaching, and more. You can learn more about Zero by going to www.zero.com.au. That's Zero with a W. We are also proudly sponsored by Establishment Coffee. Head to establishmentcoffee.com.au. Use the code 025 for 25% off and free shipping. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. That's what all the cool kids say. And if you're on Spotify, hit that 5-star review. We love it. Enjoy the show now.
All right, welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast.
The what?
The Zero Weakness Podcast. The Zero Dub. What do we call it?
The ZeroW Podcast.
The Zero Podcast. I'm pretty sure when I registered it, though, I put it as Zero Weakness Podcast.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
You did.
I'm here with CJ, Tom Brosey, and a special guest, Head Honcho, APL Presidente, El Presidente,
El Jefe.
What's happening? Hello.
Daniel Carpenter.
Back by popular demand.
By who?
By request of the fans.
He's been
I demanded myself.
he's been writing in every week. Hey guys, I got a guest idea. Hear me out.
Yeah.
He's tall, he's handsome, he's strong, he's vascular.
And then when they book it, they're like, done. And I'm like, oh, no, he cancelled. Sorry, boys, I'm coming.
I'll feel last minute.
Got you the last 3 times.
Welcome. How are we all doing? How you doing, CJ?
Yes, good. Really good.
Nice. What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for?
Yep, that was the question.
Jeez. Did not think about this one. Again. I'm grateful for...
The weather.
No, I was grateful for that. Like, this week, no, not so much. It's meant to rain all week because it's not fun.
CJ's a big weather grateful guy, hey?
When it's cold. When it's cold, yes. And when it's hot, I'm grateful for aircon. I'm grateful for this gym, the gym that I train at. I keep, it's very easy to take for granted the not just the equipment that we have and yeah, the equipment that we have, but also like the environment that we're in and, you know, the mates that I have here and just being around strong people. I've, you know, as I talk to, I guess it sounds bad, but like Gen Pop people, I realize like a lot of my progress is just because of the environment I'm in. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that.
Nice, man. It's great to have you around.
Good to be here.
James, what are you grateful for?
Me? Oh, what am I grateful for?
We were all just staring into nothing, man. Like, what happens next?
Gazing away.
I'm just a little nervous. The president's here.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for leadership.
Good leadership in my life.
I'm going to judge you hard on your answer.
I am grateful for just piggybacking on. Oh, this is actually what I thought of. I'm grateful for our members. I come in the mornings. I'm just going to rattle a few names off, like Josh Dawson. I come in. He likes to make sure because he coaches clients out of here.
Yeah.
He makes my job a little easier as well, and he cleans up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really I'm really appreciative of it. And then people like Liam Byrne, who's always just willing to help out. And yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, he's a G.
Nice.
There's plenty more, but like they're just ones of the last few days that I've thought of.
Sure. Daniel, what you got?
Well, I'm grateful for everybody that came down to Nationals the other weekend and helped out, gave their time, effort, energy. Half of them were probably sick in bed still. Yeah, everybody that was down there to help out and stuff like that. It was crazy the amount of can't think of the word. The amount of like, what's it called?
Volunteers.
Yeah, volunteers. That's not the word I was looking for, but yeah, that'll do. Yeah, the selflessness. I'm grateful for the selflessness of all the people that were just like willing to just jump in and help out.
That's the smoothest big event we've had, by far.
By far, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, I think the first Worlds at Novotel was the smoothest.
Oh, by far, especially the pack down.
Yeah, it was great. Great experience. Wish I could live it every day. It always blows my mind how willing people are to just like load bars for 6 hours and not complain and, actually just jump in without being asked.
Yeah, and you try and try and take the job off them like halfway through. You're like, I'll give you a break. And they're just like real defensive and they're like, no, I love this shit. Yeah. Like, I will die on this platform.
Exactly. I mean, they almost did when that guy threw the bar off his back.
Oh no, what happened? He just squatting and dumped it?
Yeah, a guy just threw a bar off his back.
There's
at the top
always
of his
one every
squat.
year.
That was bad.
Dang.
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for our new equipment. I really love that we constantly do upgrades. It's nice to have new stuff and be like, yeah, the gym's not going to change for a while, and then 6 months later get new stuff and be like, yeah, the gym's not going to change for a while. Like I like constantly getting new stuff, and getting new stuff always makes me want to get more new stuff, especially now that Sunshine Coast has different stuff, and I'm like, no, I want that stuff.
Yeah, you know what I want what they've got? I want the tricep dip machine.
The cable one,
Yeah,
I've got a dip machine.
that one there.
Yeah, I love that machine.
Yeah, but you use it single arm. It's good to single arm.
No, I use both.
Do you?
Yeah, it's a bit wide though.
That's what I mean. Mm.
The dip machine at Sunshine Coast is pretty light.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some of the you know how like that new row is pretty light? Some of the upper body stuff is a bit light. Then we got a shoulder press at Brisbane that Daniel built. That one's all right. It's like heavy enough. You can get a good pump out of it. The chest press machine is okay. The new fly machine is good.
Oh,
I use that. Yeah, I was happy with that. Because did you get one for Southside?
Yeah, but it's arriving. There's another container of equipment arriving in a couple of days.
Do we have anything in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a 9 station. We got to sell that.
Look at his no.
that kind of has to go somewhere for the other one to go there.
All I think about is remember when we went to World's Gym?
Oh, in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
Port-
the worst.
When was it? During COVID, eh?
Yeah.
Us three in the truck at like 9 p.m. at night.
Fuck, it was so heavy.
Well, the worst thing was that we had just spent a whole day moving like an entire gym's worth of stuff from Toowoomba.
I will quickly pop into
Yeah, it would be easy just chuck it on the back of the truck.
didn't even fit out the door.
No worries.
Fuck, that was hectic.
Oh man.
Yeah, that sucked. This one's much easier to build though.
Yeah, right.
It'll take ages, but it's easier. And we've got a calf machine, a calf raise, standing calf raise coming as well. So you got to sell that too,
Yeah, solid.
with the other 20 pieces that we still haven't sold. Look, if you're listening and you want to buy some gym equipment, hit us up. Hip thrust. Actually, the hip thrust that they got at Sunshine Coast is good. Everyone loves it, which is nice because we've been through about 40 hip thrusts that everyone hates.
It's always something of high demand here. A good hip thrust. Everyone wants the one that you have. That Arsenal one.
I don't know what to say. Take it.
Okay.
Take it.
I don't like the pad on it. It's all worn out and then it moves.
Yeah, I've used it like 3 or 4 times in the history of being there. Yeah, some people love it. But then a lot of people say like the height for it's all stuffy, screwy because you have to be like, can't be like too short or too tall or whatever.
Yeah.
No matter what, there's always a problem with something.
I think hip thrust machines in general are hard. Anyway, quotes. CJ, you got a quote ready? Locked and loaded?
Yes, it is here. Where did it go? The cynics get to be right and the optimists get to be rich. So pretty much saying that it's always easy to be negative and say nothing's going to work, but it only takes one win to pay off big.
And you're on your like business quotes hard lately.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of Hormozy and Chris Williamson.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was half thinking of going to Chris Williamson. He's coming to Brisbane in November. But I can't. When's America Pro?
Oh,
Is it November 10th or something?
November something, yeah.
I think we're in America for the American Pro when he's here.
Oh, nice.
Otherwise, I'd go do it because it's pretty cheap.
Do people know
How
why
much
you're
it-
going to America Pro?
I don't know if I've said it. Have I said it on the podcast?
No,
James?
I don't even know what the America Pro is.
Okay, well, we'll tell you.
Big announcement.
After we do the quotes.
Okay.
What do you got, James?
I got 2 quotes. My first one being
One for you, one for Daniel, because Daniel doesn't have one.
all
Oh,
right.
I got 2.
Oh, you
I got
do?
2, and I don't need to pull up my phone to get them out.
Oh, is this off the
Got
top
them
of the
off the top of my
dome?
head.
Top of the dome.
Yeah.
Damn.
Waiting.
Go on.
No, you go. Okay, I got 2. I'll give you my first one first. My first one's just a fun one from a movie, from Pirates of the Caribbean. Not all treasure is silver and gold.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Go your other
Oh,
one.
second one. Never climb a mountain so the world can see you. Only ever climb a mountain so you can see the world, not so the world can see you.
I like that.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to write that one down.
Well, that's the first thing I'm going to send you when you are on holiday and post a photo on top of a mountain.
You won't catch me. You won't catch me slipping.
Letting the world see you.
I'll catch Rochelle slipping.
No.
All right. Since I'm surrounded by great leaders right now, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way.
Nice.
Who quoted that?
John C.
John Cena.
John Cena.
No, John C. I don't know who the fuck John C.
It's
is.
definitely John Cena.
I think it's John Cena.
And then I got another one. I got Queensland States next week for jiu-jitsu. So, it's a little bit of going to war kind of spec. In warfare, there are no constant conditions. He who can modify his tactics in relation to his opponent will succeed and win.
Nice.
Damn.
That's good. I'm keen to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be sick.
What date is it again?
No gi Saturday, gi Sunday.
What date is it again?
Whatever next weekend is. July 13th, 14th.
Oh, it's next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, far out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, sweet. Well, hopefully I'm not in New Zealand. But also hopefully I'm in New Zealand because this gym is knocking me into the ground.
Yeah, fair enough.
My quote is, if you think someone's ruined your life, you're right. It's you.
Damn.
Ooh.
Which is about like the way that you frame your experiences. Like how you get to decide how you feel about any given thing.
Solid. Oh, yeah. Just circling back to my quote, the first one about leaders. Me and Bridget were talking about it the other day. If you guys ask anyone to do like a shitty job, you guys are always the first to do it. And you guys are always like working the hardest, like loading the trucks and shit. So it's refreshing to have leaders that actually don't mind getting their hands dirty.
I'm really glad that Daniel and I don't get our conversations published because I think you'd have a very different opinion.
That's why I don't mind screwing a few handrails every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Handrails.
It's good.
I mean, it's the best way to generate action as well. Like to lead by example.
Yeah. There's no job I wouldn't do. I've had this conversation before.
Yeah, but you're the ultimate man. Like I don't know where to go from there.
Is there many jobs you wouldn't do?
Yes.
Oh, like what?
Yeah, trust me, there's a lot of jobs James wouldn't do.
Oh, you name it, brother.
You tell me not to do something, I'm happy. It won't get
We
done.
good. No, if I can't do it, then I won't do it.
Yeah.
You do
I
what
didn't
I mean?
mean like not something like I wouldn't be like, yeah, I'll go do brain surgery on someone. Like, let me give it a crack. But
Yeah, well, we fucking figured that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think of like a
you just
scenario.
assume it, I'll do it.
Think of a scenario where you're like, your dad's your hero, and all you've ever seen is like your dad is larger than life your whole life, and then you're in a scenario where there's a man that knows something more than your dad, and you don't know how to feel. That was me watching Daniel build stuff next to Cooper,
Yeah.
because Cooper would talk all this nerd stuff and like have an answer for Daniel, and I'm not used to Daniel not having the answer, and I didn't know how to feel.
Cooper.
Morgan.
Oh, okay.
He's a tradesman as well.
But then then you come back to appreciate Daniel knows everything, and Cooper's just like
Yeah.
zoned into being a mechanic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel does know everything. If I want to know, or he can figure it out.
Yeah.
What a bloke. All right. How are we kicking off this podcast?
The announcement: we're sponsoring the American Pro.
Yes.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Zero Equipment is going to be the equipment sponsor for the American Pro. So we've cooked up a deal with them. You're going to see Zero Monolith, Zero Combo Rack. What else? Toasters,
There's
platform.
other stuff that you won't see because it'll be in the warm-up room. So platforms, trees, plates, possibly.
Hopefully plates, calibrated plates. That's going to be our big reveal.
So talk to me.
Just revealed.
So what is the Zero Pro? What is the American Pro? Who's it affiliated with? Where is it? Who's competing?
It's like the biggest money meet in America, I think.
So it's kind of like the Kern US Open?
Yeah, a replacement of that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
And it's WRP now, right?
Oh, actually, I don't know. Did they change the name?
Well, it
No,
used
like
to be...
WRPF.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was USPA when like Gracie and all that were running it, and then it went WRPF.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Yep. So yeah, we're sponsoring that event. It's pretty crazy. and this is no dig on American or American powerlifting or anything like that, but one of the things in our preliminary meetings was like, what's your dream of equipment list? And they're like, it would be amazing to have the platform stuff and the warm-up stuff match. We're like, what? Really? It's like that should be stock standard. So it'll be cool to have, you know, the competition experience elevated for the lifters and it be all our stuff. That'd be really nice.
It'd be really cool. The mono will be like all custom to match every pro. You would have seen it. Surely you would have seen videos and stuff. It's like the one with like, it's got like big elaborate like TV screen, like walls and stuff like that.
Yeah, Will went there
John
last
Hack
year.
competed last year.
Oh, yeah.
John Hack and Danny Grigsby and all those guys competed last year.
Yeah, cool. It's only, so this is the second American Pro.
Yeah.
The third.
Yeah, right. So how did this happen? Who did you speak to?
I met Micah Marina, who owns a gym in Las Vegas, who's like the co-founder of the American Pro. I met him. Lily Riley already knew him from like competitions in the past, and she introduced me to him while we were at the animal cage, and I was watching him kind of run around and be involved with a US APL meet, and I was just looking at the equipment. And he's like, "Yeah, we use all this equipment and stuff." I'm like, "Man, we can do better than that." We just got chatting, and it just kind of developed from there. I saw him again at the Ghost Clash and spoke a little bit more and saw how they do things over there, and it's just like, yeah, we can do this way better. And there's still a big market in America for things like monoliths. You know, in Australia, we sell monos, but we don't sell many. And I think it'll die off more and more and more. Whereas over there, they're still pretty hungry for monos, and then monos just kind of suck. No offense, but they do.
Well, that's what I was going to ask next. Like, what's the goal of this? Just crack into the American market?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
And like America is obviously, well, to me, it's obviously like the highest concentrated country of powerlifting in general.
Yeah. I'm just excited to like turn on a show like the American Pro or something like that, and then it's just like your
Zero
branding or your equipment or whatever it is on this stage. Like, that's really cool.
Yeah, fucking A.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What about barbells?
Nah,
Barbell sponsor.
I don't think we'll. I don't know. This is something for me and Daniel to discuss another time, but I don't think we'll ever get that hard into producing barbells. I kind of feel the same way about like, you know, belts and sleeves and stuff. Why would I make belts, or why would we make belts and sleeves when other companies already do it so much better?
Really well, yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking. There's companies dedicated to purely just barbells.
Literally, like Texas Barbell, their entire business is barbells, and they make an astronomical amount of them.
Yeah.
And they make it like squat bars. It's just like, and there's such a wide variety. It's like, if you came out, are you going to come out with 10 different bars? Are you going to come out with a squat bar, a power bar, a deadlift bar, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah. Like, you know, we look at our mono or our combo or whatever, and we're actively trying to build on it and make it better than what's out there. How do you do that with a barbell? It's just kind of another bar. And like, I like that we've got our own bars now, and they're cool, and I think I'll put them in my you know, our current gyms and any gyms that continue to open up. And I like the idea of, if like you deck out a gym and you buy 4 combos, we're just like, hey, thanks for buying heaps of stuff. Here's a couple of barbells that we can sprinkle on top. I like that, but I don't think I'd want to push into marketing barbells. That'd have to be expensive as well.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking in comparison to what you already sell, like it's a lot of effort for, I don't want to say a little return.
It would be a little return.
Yeah, on a barbell.
Yeah, and it'd be hard too. Like, even if like you look at the likes of like Kabuki, they brought out this like deadlift bar, and half the community's fighting that it's like cheating, and the other half of the community's not. It's like, oh, you're going to create a deadlift bar now. Are you going to go down like the Texas deadlift bar route or the Kabuki route? Are you going to try and make it better? Are you going to try and like change it? Are you going to make it more whippy? Like, where are you going to go with it? It's like, fuck, it's just doesn't really interest me. Yeah. And I like a Texas bar. Like, I've never used one and been like, man, I wish this was better. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. All right. Well, we, of course, Daniel, you listen to the APL Nationals recap, so we don't have to talk about any of that.
Yeah, I never miss a podcast ever.
As an
not, not even out yet.
Listener.
But I get sent them before that. I get too excited.
Right. So I send them to you. That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did you get any good banger questions on your Q&A you want to address?
Not really. Majority of all the questions that were sent to me were all pretty much a repeat of the same thing. So it was like questions about Masters Juniors Nationals 2025, Zero Pro, and the big one is an international body.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into it. Nationals 2025.
Nationals 2025.
Have we got some answers?
No.
Nice.
It's pretty
Next
early
question.
to tell.
Nice.
I don't think people really fathom how much work goes into a nationals, especially for Daniel, who's like running the whole thing. And it's not like you do the day and then it's just finished. There's so much more work that happens after the fact as well. So like it's pretty early days to be calling any of that stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, you like could pretty much give you a play-by-play of everything about Nationals 2025, except the big thing that is very difficult is finding another venue. So it's really hard. We're in a predicament at the moment, and we're still sort of in this spot at the moment where same thing happened. So we hosted Nationals last year at the Multicultural Centre. So it's a big theatre, tiered seats. You can see the platform from no matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're in the first row or the back row. This isn't hosted down at the local pub where you see the back of someone's head when you're 2 rows deep. Like, you can see every single bit of the action, and I love that. So every single year when we kind of elevate the spectacle or the event or what we do, I never want to go backwards. Like, I don't. If I pride ourselves on you can see every spot of the event no matter where you are. If we then move to a different location, it's like, can we replicate the same area to have the warm-up room? Can we replicate the platform? Can we replicate having availability for everyone to see the event? Finding a venue that caters to all of that and then allows a powerlifting competition inside their venue or inside a theatre is quite difficult. So we hosted it at Multicultural Centre last year. I thought the venue was great. A lot of people gave great feedback. So we thought we'll repeat it at the same place. When we did the repeat of the same place, it's really hard because you get a lot of people giving you negative feedback, negative feedback in a sense where they're like, oh, this should be a nationals event. Move it to another state, move it to another place, which I completely understand. I love the concept. But it's like, logistically, how do we do that? And it's really hard too, because you get, the 90% of the people that are like, oh, I'm happy to have it in the same place because I loved it. So they're quiet. And the 10% that kick up, they make a lot of noise. So then it makes it look like there's a lot of people really angry. So it's quite difficult to balance those things.
Yeah.
So now it's a case of like, okay, we need to sit down and actually have a genuine look. Are we going to move this to another state? If so, where are we going to move it? Where can we find a venue? Because another thing too, just based on everything I was just saying, is like, we can find theatres, but to find a theatre that's 5 minutes out of the city.
You can hear that through the...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, to find a venue like that, a theatre and all that sort of jazz, 5 minutes out of a CBD is just another level of difficulty as it is. So what I can say about Nationals 2025 is we're talking about we're going to move it later in the year. So we're still going to go ahead with that. So this year it was in June. We might look at maybe something like more of an August or a September. The benefit of this is it just kind of feels weird having a Nationals right in the smack bang in the middle of the year. At least give people, people are qualifying in March is the cutoff to host for a national event. It's kind of like a national should be a bit more of a wrap up of the year. So if we can move it a little bit back further, get people competing up until maybe like June or, May or something like that, and then make the cutoff for the event then. So you can just push it back a little bit.
Because, obviously the Multicultural Centre, to me, that's the perfect venue for a powerlifting comp. Just visually, aesthetically, it looks really good. And like you said, the seating, no matter where you're sitting, you can see it. Even little things like from the bump in and things like that, it's like a perfect location.
Yeah, absolutely perfect.
But then little things like if you do move it into state, it's APL Nationals is sponsored by Zero Equipment and things like that. So does that impact it or?
Well, it just depends if we continue to sponsor it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. So this is
which I'd be happy to, of course.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is an APL run event. Mm-hmm. So Drug Tested Nationals was organized by APL, run by APL. Obviously, Zero provided the equipment, helpers, all that sort of stuff. If we move it, one thing that I would 100% be set on is still the same concept of what Thomas was talking about before in regards to the America Pro. I want the equipment in the warm-up room, the equipment on the platform, every single thing to be identical the same as it was this year, as it historically has been. Because again, that's another feature that I don't want to go backwards on.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking you're going to be pretty hard-pressed to find that anywhere else around the country. Even these big competitions, I won't say their names, but the biggest competition in Australia don't even have that.
Yeah.
The question is like logistically, how do you manage that? If or the fact that Zero Equipment would sponsor it, do we manufacture a whole bunch of new stuff, send it to the competition and then try and sell it afterwards? Do we build up a container's worth of equipment and ship it around? Like doing it locally and being able to take it from the gyms, and there's a bunch of APL owned Zero equipment that's been sponsored, like the custom toasters and platform and the combo rack that lives at Zero Southside. We can take it from the gyms and take it straight back. That part's pretty easy. If it's in another state, it makes it a lot harder to sponsor it. Like, where does the equipment go after it? How do we get it there? All of that sort of stuff. And it adds a significant cost. And, nationals, it's not like a massive revenue generator. There's a lot of costs that are involved. That's the thing with venues. Like Daniel was saying, it's not just find a copy-paste venue. It's like, does the venue accept powerlifting? If it does, is the seating arrangement right? Because there's lots of theaters, but if you've got a 500-seater theater, it would feel like a shit comp because it'd be empty. And then, the bump in and all the other stuff, the cost is crazy. Some of these theaters are extremely expensive.
And then even if we do find a theater that allows us to go in there, we run a risk in ourselves running an event there. Because it's like, what if we break the floor? Like we broke the floor. The floor was broken at the theater on the weekend, just gone. So obviously not many people would know, but the floor in the theater actually broke on the first day. So at the end of the first day of the event, someone was walking across the platform, one of the spotters, and they were like, hey, just a heads up, boys, there's a massive divot, like a dip in the floor. We went over, we pulled the platform apart, and at a barbell at some point has cracked the floor, and then just deadlifting on it all day has just caused the floor to completely break. We had a choice at that to make. It was like 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. And it's like, fuck, what do we do? Like, if we tell the venue that we broke the floor on the first day, what if they kick us out? Like, if I owned a theater and someone broke my floor on the first day, I'd be pretty nervous to let them do another 3 days of it. So then I pulled the whole platform apart, looked at the damage, realized we're pretty fucked. So Steve and I then went down to his, Steve's always happy to help out. He owns a big equipment company, and so he's like, I've got trucks and utes. We'll go to Bunnings and we'll just try and rebuild this thing. So Steve and I are at Bunnings like 8:30 at night on the Thursday. All the fellas that working in Bunnings are getting all excited. They're running around. They're telling us their concepts. They're drawing it out. They're saying, this timber is going to be better than that. We need to build these fucking big elaborate things. And like the platform is going to be like 5 meters in the air by the end of it. But we just ended up getting some more plywood, moved the entire platform forward, rebuilt it all, kind of covered it all up so you couldn't see where the hole was, and then the show must go on. So a little side note, anybody that was watching the event on the first day, and then you realized on the second day the warm-up room got about 1 meter bigger and the platform moved about 1 meter forward, it's because we put a hole in the floor. But
worked out better. The warm-up room was sick.
It worked out way better. That was one thing. That was a bit of feedback that I heard all the time, was the warm-up room was way better.
Yeah, so
obviously because without the deadlift platforms, but just that extra space as well.
Yeah, and I guess having the main platform so much more forward, it was like right into the crowd, like the head referee is pretty much sitting in the crowd, and that was okay because again you're in a theater, so it's not like it's kind of ruining anything. It's not like it's making it harder to see, so that kind of worked out really well. But the point of my story was that imagine if you held this in and at the end of the day, when we went back to speak to the venue on the Monday, they were basically just said like, look, these things happen as long as no one was hurt. If you guys organize your own people to repair the floor, that's all good. We're happy with it. Just make sure it's proper repaired. No problem. Thank you. If you went to like a venue, like a theater in Melbourne or something like this, and you broke a floor like that, the response you're not going to get is not going to be that simple.
Imagine like the official performing arts center.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, no worries. Here's your $25,000 bill," and it's like, "Okay, cool.
Replace
where
the
does
whole
this money?
stage.
Yeah, where does this money come from? Oh, that's all right. We'll just go completely broke to repay a stage that we put a hole in the floor of. Like, it's you got to factor all these sort of things in.
There's risks.
I was thinking they were a pretty cool venue as well. Like the people there that worked the venue were pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, there's like the sound guy, the sound
he was
audio
the man.
guy. He fucking loves it. Yeah, I love his energy.
It's so good.
I love his energy. Yeah.
That's so good. I didn't realize how much of a big role those lights actually play that he does. Because if you watched, I can't remember what, I watched some UFC event where it broke. So they couldn't do the lights and things like that. And it looks so shit. Like it only broke for like, they had a fucking technical difficulty for like, one entrance or whatever. But I was like, man, this is terrible now. Like the production value just went way down just from that.
It's crazy how much those little things make a difference. You don't really think about it.
You don't
when
even notice.
Yeah, you just kind of take it for granted. And then when it's not there, you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So like, obviously you went scouting around for venues. Like what does a cheap venue look like price wise?
Cheap?
What's a cheap venue?
Yeah. Like let's say you got a pub or something. Like what
If
would
you told me a venue was like $6,000 a day, I'd be pretty stoked with it.
Yeah, one of the hotels we looked at after we'd done Novotel, I think it was another Novotel, like the airport one. Didn't they want the one in the city? Didn't they want like $10,000 for a half day?
Yeah, so some of them are pretty it's pretty elaborate. Like it's in the tens of thousands for some of these venues. And then like you can negotiate down in price, and it's crazy what you can actually negotiate down with, but some of them are still pretty like expensive. And a lot of them are like, oh yeah, you can hire this venue. However, you need to purchase X amount of food package from this and that and feed all the volunteers and stuff like that. And then that cost just keeps escalating and escalating. Like
you have to use their staff, and then their staff costs more on the weekend.
Yeah.
Like their sound staff. And then because we go later than like business hours, you got to pay out of hours. It all adds up. I think, do you remember what the QPAC we looked at? No, not the QPAC. It was the convention center. We looked at the convention center in Brisbane, and I think it was like 20-something thousand for 2 days.
Yeah.
Or 18,000 a day or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So like the dollars just aren't there to run a powerlifting comp in those sort of places.
And then even with a lot of those sort of places, it's like if the dollar's there and you're like, okay, we can actually afford this. There's like, all right, like take QPAC for example. When we went there, it's like, oh wow, the stage is it's beautiful, it's great, all this sort of stuff. Where's the warm up room going to be? Where's the warm up room going to be? And you're like making like, you're like, oh yeah, we can kind of fit it in this corner of this dark room in the back here, and that'll kind of work. And then you actually visualize what powerlifting competitions are like. It's like, oh yeah, where are we going to put the 45,000 kilos of talcum powder that goes over fucking everything and anything? People are like eating food, leaving rubbish. Like, fuck, the amount of rubbish that is generated at a comp like this is astronomical. Like,
actually, I don't know if I told you this, Daniel, but you know how like at the Novotel, the first year we did it, you're like, I'm getting a sponge for the talcum powder.
Yeah.
And you were stoked about your sponge.
Yeah. Everyone was. But
the Kiwi guys at Nationals on the weekend, I was standing next to them and they didn't realize I was eavesdropping, and they were talking about it. One of them's like, bro, have you been outside? They've got a sponge for the talcum powder. Like, they've literally thought of everything. And like, oh, Daniel's going to be so stoked.
I already know. It's the greatest idea ever.
The talc sponge. Yeah, it really stopped it going everywhere. That's good.
Right.
I think my car's still covered in baby powder.
Lifters are barbarians, man.
Like, I've seen I watch it because there's a lot of people doing it in a rush, in a panic.
And they just do the whole bottle.
And they just go like this, and it just kind of like just goes fucking everywhere. And it's like, whoa, man, this is crazy.
You need like the tiniest little bit for it to be effective as well.
It's just like,
whenever I take my lifters out there, because I don't want any baby powder on me, so I stand so far away from them. So I'm one of them, man. I'm just squeezing the bottle as hard as I can.
Just spraying it from 2 meters away. Projecting it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into looking for a venue. It's not very simple. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, as in CJ and James, because I asked a lot of people in person on the weekend of like, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the predictability of coming back to the same place every year and knowing it's going to be like, because it's not just about the comp then, it's like you get to learn the area, you know where you want to stay, you know what restaurants, like it's a predictable adventure, or do you prefer the idea of going to a different location?
No, I like the predictable, like it's like
I'm a creature of habit.
It's the mecca. Like, do you know what I mean? This is the mecca of national powerlifting, and that's what it's going to become in a few years. There's only been 2, but after a few years it's going to be like, I can't wait to go back to Kangaroo Point. I can't wait. Like, that's how I look at other sports. Like, you know, when people they have massive UFC events in Vegas all the time, and it's like they don't care that some, like, they want to go back to Vegas. They want to be on that card. Same thing with like what other sports, like jiu-jitsu. It's always Worlds is always in America at the same spot, and it's so they all know what they're expecting, but they're still fired up to go there.
It's like a pilgrimage to it every year.
100%. It's like a it's almost like it's like an honor to the sport. Like it's it's like an honorable location, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think it's like because people are attending, they're constantly learning. Yeah, like you said, like, oh, these are the good spots to hit. Oh, I found this cool place where you can park in this road and get to the comp. You learn different things, and like to switch that up would be annoying for an annual event. And I guess for the lifter themselves, like, it's just like saying like how we like competing like at our gym because it's like a home ground advantage. Like there's familiarity there. But that being said, it's not like you guys do it the same every year. Every time you go there, it's like, oh, what have they done this year? It's different. You got the signage at the back, and like you make it bigger and better. The stream's better. But yeah, I think I'd prefer to keep it at the same location.
Have you guys been to the Apollo? Tom, have you been to the Apollo?
What's that?
Where is the Apollo? Have you been to the Apollo?
The Apollo Theater in America?
Yeah.
I don't know where it is.
Like it's not the fanciest place, but it's like
What is this for?
It's just a music place. It's a venue.
Okay.
But it's a really famous venue. Like if you're an artist and you get to perform at the Apollo, it's like, damn, like he's a big artist. He's made it. Like Tupac did the Apollo. Yeah. Drake did the Apollo. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those venues. It's not even a flashy venue, but it's like the I don't even know how to word it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like
Let's do a comp in the sphere.
Wouldn't that be insane?
But do you know what I mean? And like I think eventually it's going to be like that in powerlifting. Like
I think there's pros and cons.
Just like when there's a competition that used to be at the Arnold's. And it's, to me, like as a fan of powerlifting, this is no shade against like federations or anything, but to me, it's not a spectacle anymore. It's like, the whole, like the draw to that was it was there.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could always, I am definitely open to a new venue. I will not say that I'm not, no way. But yeah, I mean, because you could use the same argument of being like, man, imagine if we had this conversation 2 years ago and everyone was like, the Novotel is the pinnacle. It's the fucking pinnacle. It's the best. Let's keep it here every year. It's like not taking that chance to try something new. We'd still be carrying monoliths up fucking staircases.
And slow lifts.
I didn't carry anything. I didn't carry a mono up the staircase.
Waiting
samples. Combos.
Oh my goodness. That was the worst, eh? The elevator would take like 30. If you're like, hey, can you go downstairs and bring this up? And you'd expect, if they came up 30 minutes later, you'd be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't you guys held GPC
we did.
at that venue, and they actually carried.
We carried 3 monos up those stairs.
That's disgusting,
bro. And the what's it called? The Warlord had like 10 millimeters of clearance on each side. We got stuck in that cage thing for like 20 minutes trying to navigate through it.
This is why Steve is the man, because when he was there, he was like, bro, if we got to take a mono up here, I'll fucking get a crane truck here. We'll just drop the fucking thing off the bed. She'd be sweet, mate. I was like,
why do you sound exactly like him?
Because he's heard it 1,000 times a day
man.
for years.
Way off topic. Do you know who I realized Steve Bradshaw looks like? Have you seen that Trained by JP?
Well, it's really weird. He sent me a photo of himself before when he was like a bit heavier, like a lot heavier. And I was like, what the fuck? He actually looks like JP.
Oh, did you? Oh.
I literally thought this like 3 hours ago.
Yeah. Bro, they're fucking both fucking humongous, jacked out of their brain.
Yeah.
But where's this? Sorry, back to the venue thing. Where's it coming from? Are a lot of people like, can we get a new place?
Well,
is that what?
Yeah. When we announced that it was in Brisbane again this year, a lot of people. There's not a lot of people, but some people were like, this should be nationals. We should move it around. It should go to a different state.
People are loud on social media that don't know much about the logistics of everything.
Yeah.
And it's not that their opinion's invalid, but it's just louder than the majority most of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm not solid on keeping it at the same place. Like I'm definitely going to try and have a look into other states. Absolutely. Definitely.
But like you said, it has to be better.
Yeah, it can't come at the cost of going backwards.
So anybody watching this, if you know of an amazing venue anywhere around Australia, please send the details to Daniel at aplpowerlifting.com.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of raises the next point, which is like the idea of the demand to split nationals even further. So this year, the demand led it to go to tested and untested.
Yep.
But like you extended the day to accommodate more masters and juniors because there's just so many of them and good ones.
Yeah, so we ended up having it ended up being like just shy, like 3 people short of a 50-50 split between open and open lifters and then masters and juniors. And another fun fact, I think we had like 52 or 53% of all competitors were females as well. So we actually had more females competing than we did males, which
So
is
good.
really
Wow.
That's fucking awesome.
crazy, right?
Yeah, wow.
What gyms do these girls train at?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Strength Tribe.
Strength Tribe, House of Pain. And the coolest thing was that a lot of the masters and juniors, I don't think there were many podiums that didn't have a master or junior lifter. Like
Yes.
an open podium that didn't have a master or junior.
Yeah, so our original plan was going to be like masters, juniors, and wraps on the Thursday, Friday, and then all the open lifters on the Saturday. And it was like, if you are a master and you qualify, you can choose to do the masters or you can choose to do the opens. And then as we were sort of like going through all the entries and all that sort of stuff, it just became so apparent that like, man, these masters and juniors are going to smoke some of these open competitors. So we really can't separate them that much. We need to put them all back together and just kind of like mix it all in throughout the weekend, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and some of these, like, you know, a lot of the time there, masters and juniors did win the overalls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But
So-
yeah, so do you think is the plan next year to split a completely separate comp? Because in my head, I think it would be cool to have like masters, juniors, wraps tested as a comp, and then just an open sleeved tested nationals.
Yes, that's what I would like that 100%. Obviously, again, there's a lot of arguments for and against it, which we completely understand as well. Like a lot of these masters lifters or juniors lifters, when they compete, they want to compete alongside the open lifters. You know what I mean? They want to be there in the action, and I can completely understand that. But then by that same token, we get so many masters and juniors lifters that are demanding their own standalone event, so we can invite even more of them. So we have to sort of meet in the middle.
What?
It gives the opportunity for people to compete twice. Like if you're an open lifter, you can compete in wraps and then sleeves. If you're a masters juniors lifter, you can compete master junior and then open. Like it gives people the opportunity to compete twice, and it makes it easier then to increase the prize money, because then you've got opportunities for more sponsorship, for more comps, but you don't actually have to exceed the total number. As in like $15,000 this year, if you have 2 by 10,000, you've gone over it. Yeah, you've gone up to 20, but then you can keep the prize money pretty much the same, if not more. So it's always getting better. I don't know. There's lots of ways you can look at it.
Yeah, definitely. But
What were you going to say, James?
I was just going to talk about, you mentioned wraps. Tom, bro, like you've been powerlifting the longest out of everyone. And to me, this is the first time that I thought, wraps are slowly, like when I first started here, everyone competed in wraps. And then now's the first time I've seen no one competes in wraps in here. Well, not no one, 2 or 3 people. What is like the future looking like for wrapped powerlifting, like in APL?
I actually don't think that wrap powerlifting overall is dying.
Well, that's
I
what
just think sleeve powerlifting is growing way faster.
Okay, because
I
that's
think
what I was thinking.
Wraps is kind of the same. It's just sleeves is going way up.
Yeah, am I just like a product of my own environment? Am I just thinking, it's dying because in here there's...
But I'm looking at powerlifting as a whole, like exposed to my other lifters around other places, which Daniel's probably got a way better idea of what it looks like in APL.
yeah, I think a lot of wrap lifters are switching to sleeves. That's what I mean by feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like there used to be, I think just at the end of the day, if you really kind of like compare the two lifters, it's like the only thing that's separating two people and their totals and all that sort of jazz is what equipment they're wearing on their knees for a squat. And like, I even noticed some people that like competed on the weekend and they were like in the wraps or whatever. And they're like, oh man, I just, the win was so easy. I just wish I had more competition in my weight class. And it's like, yeah, why didn't you go do the sleeve division? And even in wraps, you would have been absolutely smoked. Like the level of competition in the sleeve division is just getting higher and higher and higher. I think like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, and seeing these people getting stronger and stronger. And then also you're seeing like these people online, like you've got the likes of like John Hack and stuff like that. They're competing in sleeves and putting up some of the biggest totals. The America Pro is putting up massive money for sleeve meets. In America, like all the big money meets are all in sleeves. That's why they're all competing in sleeves. And I tend to find it's like as that's becoming more popular, it feels like sleeves are becoming more popular in Australia. We're guilty of it too. Like we put way more money up in prize money in the sleeve division. And it's not because we're trying to push people into the sleeve division. It's because like...
It's harder competition.
Yeah, and if we had 1,500 competitors last year, people compete in APL last year, like 300 of them were wrapped lifters, and then the other like 1,200 are all in sleeves. So it's like the money's going to go where the people want it to go. So that's another reason. So it's like, and like I said it to you had someone like Ishbel competed on the weekend, and it's like she won the overall junior in wraps and she won the money. She had a dots of like 490 or something like that, like something outrageous. If she was in sleeves, she would have won the overall open as well. Like even knocking a little bit off her total for wraps, like she would have walked away with like way more thousands of dollars, like just from like, it's crazy. Like
It's crazy. It's just
someone like her, you're going to see someone like her may potentially shift next year being like, I could have won $4,000. Like, yeah, you definitely could have. And it's like, she shifts into wraps, and then other people that look up to her, they're going to she switches to sleeves. People that look up to her, then they switch into sleeves. That's how I kind of, I don't know.
Do you, it's just funny. I just thought of something. Josh Sternberg at the competition, he goes, you know what? I had a thought. I'd be pretty competitive here, except I'm in tested and in wraps, and these guys are all juniors in sleeves. And to me, I was just like, man, the talent's gotten crazy. Like the level of powerlifting has gotten so much higher. It's really cool to see.
I feel the same about monoliths and like the Zero Pro. One of the most common comments is like, oh, you're going to put a monolift in it. It's like, just take 2 steps. If you want the prize money, just take 2 steps. Not that hard.
Yeah.
Just learn the skill. Take 2 steps.
Well, Lilley Riley didn't walk out of squat until what?
Like she walked out of squat for 2 weeks and then she gave up and then she just did it on the day.
I love that. I love that.
That's an athlete.
It's hectic.
Mind you, she squatted a lot less than she could have. Did she? I can't remember.
No, she still squatted like 270, 267.
She's
or
so strong.
Crazy.
Yeah, nuts. Well, I guess that leads to the next thing, which is the Zero Pro 2 is the next one of our big comps coming up.
Yeah.
Creeping up fast.
So we were talking about this the other day too. Zero Pro 2, what is it? October 26, 27?
Yep.
I want to say I should know.
Yeah,
All
26,
people
27.
really should know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's going to be the same venue as Nationals, so it's going to be an awesome event. Some people may have seen some invites have gone out already, so they weren't particularly invites because this is not an invitational comp. It was more of an early release of entry, so we released an early release for 6 males and 6 females, so we've got them confirmed already for the pro division. We've also released some expressions of interest, so if you are interested in doing the elite division or the open division, we don't have an entry form out for the open division, but by the time this podcast comes out, we'll probably have some more stuff ready to go, some more information on the Instagram, but
yes, have I heard something about potential early entries?
yeah, so that's what I was going to mention now is like we're thinking about originally entries weren't going to open until September 1st. That only gives athletes like 7 weeks to know that they're 100% competing, even though there's a high chance that they're 100% competing. But you want to know these things. You want to have that feel securer. So we're thinking about opening up 50 or 60% of all the entry spots, just selling them out, and then dropping the last remaining 40% on September 1st when we originally said it. So another thing too, if you're an elite lifter, if you're in the pro division and you didn't receive a early invitation, it's because technically entries didn't go live until September 1st. So it doesn't mean you're not invited or you're not eligible to compete. It's just we only just invited a few people just to get a bit of motion, bit of hype. Yeah. So we've got some big names already, which is really cool.
Have we got some? So can you talk about so what big names are confirmed already? Like that's out there.
And we've got Keita, Lilley Riley, Sarah Rainbow, Jade Duncan, a lifter out of South Africa.
Oh, cool.
Lydia, and the last one, I forget her name, Belinda Ryder?
Yeah, Belinda Ryder.
Belinda Ryder, yeah. So that's the 6th one.
I'm excited to see Keita and Lilley versus each other.
Yeah.
Head to head. Both monsters.
Yeah, Keita's doing really well at the moment, so she's got a comp on, I think, next weekend. So
and they're the same weight class too. Under 82.5.
Yeah, I mean, well, Keita historically competes under
75, yeah.
And she's always done that with a 2-hour weigh-in at Pro and stuff like that. So Zero Pro 2 is going to be a 24-hour weigh-in because it's going to be APL rules. So it might be, pretty crazy to see what Keita's going to do because it's going to be a competition based on dots. So every single kilo counts.
I've never seen Keita walk a squat out though.
No, she got learn.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Well, Lilley learned.
Yeah. So
Not hard. 2 steps.
Yeah.
10 steps if you're not very good at it.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 if you stumble. And
quick shuffle on the way back. Yeah.
And in terms of the fellas, we've got Colton, we've got Theo Maddox. So Colton, if you don't know, whatever James just said. So we've got Colton, Theo Maddox, Ryan Williams,
Oh, mad. He's another one I've never seen walk a squat out. You got to learn.
I can't remember. I didn't really have anything to do with it, to be honest. Thomas Lilley.
Are you doing it, Thomas?
If he qualifies, he doesn't get injured. Well, they both they're all from Australia, right? Besides Colton.
Yep. It was another fella from WA, and
Was it Chris?
oh yeah, Chris Kennedy as well.
Oh, I mean Chris from WA.
Yep.
Chris Whitaker.
Yes, and Chris Kennedy. So there's just 6 males,
Wow. That's stacked.
and it's crazy like the differences. So you got someone like Chris Kennedy who's like an 80 kilo lifter, and then you got someone like Theo who's like a 140 or whatever he weighs. He's a monster, and it's like because it's on dots. Like their dots isn't that crazy different.
Well, that's like, Tom, bro, you know how the other day I said I was looking up Chris Whitaker?
Yeah.
Because I was having an argument with someone because I just assumed he was like a 100 kilo lifter by how strong he was. And like, yeah, he's so strong for a small guy, like for a 75. I'm like, what?
Oh, you mean Chris Kennedy?
Yeah, Chris Kennedy, sorry. And I was like, there's no way. Like, what are you talking about? And then I looked up, I'm like, oh, wow, he's like 80 kilos, like 79 kilos.
He's unfairly muscular.
Yeah.
He's done like nearly 10 times body weight total.
Yeah.
At like 80 kilos or something.
Natty.
Yeah, natural in IPF.
Makes me want to wear a flexi foot cap.
Damn.
He runs it backwards too. That looks sick.
Yeah, Fred Durst style.
Yeah, Taylor Atwood used to do that, and I used to think it was so cool.
There are some strong genetics in the Kennedy family.
Yes.
Yes,
Very strong.
that family is elite genetics. Eh?
Do you know his sister, so anyone that's listening, his sister Jessica works at Southside, so she's the manager at Southside. Her best competition ever was when she had like 2 days notice and went to Strength Tribe and did the comp. She was like...
And had she done a powerlifting comp before? Or was that her first one?
Like
she'd done like a novice
like
one.
5 years before that or something.
Ridiculous. She was like sitting on the couch. It was like a Wednesday. I was like, oh, I'm going to do this. You should do it so that you can qualify for nationals and win prize money or whatever. And she's like, yeah, I'll give it a go. And then she ends up winning like overall and got like a 480 or 490 dots or something. Like it was crazy. Like the day before she was doing like sets of 5 on like deadlifts or something. I don't know.
She's a little tank, eh?
Yeah, that family's got crazy genetics.
Wild.
That's awesome.
So yeah, Zero Pro, around those dates, we've got those people confirmed. We're going to release early entries.
So like $20-something thousand of prize money.
Yeah, I want to say 25,000.
Yeah.
We really should know all these facts and figures off the top of our heads, hey?
I've been so... it's just been so laser focused on nationals for so long. Zero Pro hasn't gotten any attention, so it's time to switch.
Yeah. So now nationals all done and dusted.
All the information's on Instagram. You can find it.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure everything we've said has been accurate, so don't worry.
I'm excited for the Zero Pro.
There'll be some posts about it.
Because I don't think I'll have anyone competing, so I'll just be, I don't know, emceeing, commentating, or...
Yeah. Well, and yeah, man, it's going to
Can
be
you ref my
crazy.
squats, please?
Oh,
It's going to be...
but not bench press, eh?
Nah.
Yeah.
We're originally going to have like 12 males and 12 females in the pro division, and we've already received like 40 expressions of interest or something like that in the pro division. And it's a minimum 500 dots to get in. Like it's not an easy thing to achieve.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, like it highlights another risk coming back to talking about venues. Like we used the same venue for the Zero Pro last year, but being the inaugural comp and people not really knowing what it is and not having seen our massive comps and how much we've grown and everything, and being APL and APL still setting its footing in Australia, it kind of tanked. Like we had 150 spots and we only sold 64 or something.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we had turned from a 2-day event into a 1-day event. We had to change it like 6 or 8 weeks out.
So it's all,
that's right.
It's all well and good to say, yeah, okay, let's put nationals in this theater. We're going to have 200 lifters, but you don't actually know that you're going to have 200 lifters until they sign up. And if no one signs up, then how do you pay for the venue, So there's a big risk in moving stuff around and, switching venues and running new comps. It can be a pretty scary thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, what about the world body? Everyone saw the WPU banners at nationals and everyone was in my inbox being like, what's that? When are you going to announce it?
And like we said, we did that because it was cheaper to buy a double-sided banner, and we're like, we're going to need these later.
You're being savvy.
Yeah, we have to be cost-effective to pay for the holes in the floor.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
gosh.
I mean, it's not really a secret anyway. World
No.
Powerlifting United is the world body that APL.
Oh, is it United?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Union.
No.
Mm-mm.
No. World Powerlifting United is
That's cool.
a world body that's been created so that APL can sit under it, because currently we have Mike in New Zealand running APL comps. Doesn't make much sense.
Mm-hmm.
The guys in Nauru come over and do APL comps. Doesn't make much sense. It makes more sense to have a world body that countries can sit under and do the same as what we do here, because people are seeing what we're doing in Australia and want to be a part of it.
And how do they become a part of the World Powerlifting United?
Well, people will know once they once all the details are released.
Okay.
When you say how do they become a part of it, who do you mean? Who's they?
Like, I'm just thinking like countries that, like the Naurus
Yeah,
and things like that. Like, how do we like?
It would work just as the same as like a meat director would come on board. So a meat director would reach out and be like, hey, we like what you guys do, or, we want to be a part of that sort of environment. Like, what can we do to be a part of it? And then it's kind of, you would just go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go through like a vetting procedure, all the onboarding sort of stuff, teach them how to do it.
Yeah.
But we've already run a UK PU comp. So there's UK Powerlifting United that Jordan ran the first UK PU comp at Wales last year. That's the one I went over for.
It's got a nice wee ring to it, eh?
Yeah. NZPU will come out soon for New Zealand. New Zealand's an interesting one because it's like so heavily dominated by IPF.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other drug tested alternative in New Zealand, whereas in Australia, UK, there's other drug tested alternatives. Australia is actually kind of unique. Australia is one of the only countries in the world where the biggest federation is not the IPF. APL is the biggest federation in Australia. And that's pretty unique. World Powerlifting United it's just going to be the same rule set as APL.
Yep.
But yeah, plug and play in other countries and start building and reframing powerlifting. Like, the whole idea is to make powerlifting more accessible for all. That's why I'm putting Zero behind whatever I can with what Daniel does with APL and now WPU. Because it's all about growing powerlifting and innovating powerlifting and thinking about it from a different angle. So you're not just copy and pasting every other powerlifting fed.
Yeah. And it's just going to be cool just to give the people back, the things that they've missed that we kind of haven't been able to give them over the last year or two. Like, a lot of people do want to go to Worlds. A lot of people want international competitions and stuff like that. So we're going to do our best to try and get them going, get that provided. So I was talking about it before. It's like, Zero Pro next year, Europe.
Well, that's
UK.
one of the big draw cards, like, to a lot of these other federations. Because how many lifters do you know, Tom, bro, that you see in this gym, like, or not in this gym particularly, but any other gym, like, they want an opportunity to go to Worlds one day.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in these other federations. And, like, realistically, it's like the way I look at it is like, you're probably never going to go, but like that, it's there. Like,
Yeah,
it's just another draw card. And
for sure.
so it'll be cool for that to happen.
Yeah. I think it's nice to be part of something bigger.
Yeah, 100%.
Bigger than just your country.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my favorite powerlifting memories are going to Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Like going with Steve. Steve used to go every year and being able to, if it's in Europe, travel around Europe and see the world. And like, it's, even if the competition is just a small part of that, it's nice to connect with people across the world that are doing the same thing as you.
Like, my my favorite competition to watch is still IPF Worlds. Just because it is like this is not including all APL comps first, obviously. But yeah, just like, it's everyone from around the world, and it's like people have been selected to go there. I think it's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be cool to see, APL or WPU heading in that direction.
For sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, you'll just start to see bits and pieces of this kind of appearing more and more over the next few months or anything like that. Will anything drastically change? Absolutely not. I mean, even if we went and joined an elaborate world body right now, would anything change for APL? No, it's not. Like, our rule set has already been created by us. Like, we've been running those rules for a while now. So, joining the world body or not joining the world body, again, within Australia, nothing really changes. This is just going to give an opportunity in a year or two to, be able to travel to compete in competitions and, world records and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Sweet.
Can't wait.
Keen.
Does this mean next year, if we push nationals back to like September, does that mean nationals and Zero Pro will almost be like back-to-back comps?
Maybe, but even if we went, so say Nationals was pushed back to say start of September, late July instead of June, so give it like another 6 or 8 weeks, or even the start of September, you could then have Zero Pro where it is now, and it would be like an 8-week gap. So it's like, it's not a bad time to like peak for Nationals and then peak again for the Zero Pro. I don't know, but yeah, we're just tossing around these ideas at the moment. Nothing's obviously set in stone.
Wait,
And the reality is the amount of people that are doing tested sleeved Nationals and the Zero Pro is so small.
Yeah.
You know.
since we're chucking ideas out, me and Bridget were talking about this the other day. We need some single lift comps. Is that a thing you guys are thinking of?
No, we actually removed single lift from the rulebook.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. I just thought of like it would be fun way to wrap up the year, you know, with like a deadlift only comp or.
No, we didn't.
That's not removed from the rulebook.
We didn't remove it. Sorry.
I don't know which rulebook you're reading, brother.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about.
I don't know. I just thought like mine was from like a fun like standpoint. Like I don't know, deadlift only comps are cool. They're fun to watch.
Oh no, it was push pull that we removed. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Instantly when you said that, I don't know.
Yeah, push
my
pull
brain
too
was
much
just
effort.
went to push pull.
Why the hell would you want to enter a comp? Like no one wants to watch the bench like at a powerlifting comp. So like just get straight to the fun stuff.
I think when you enter a comp, you enter it because you want to compete, not so people can watch you do it.
Yeah, but when have you ever been at a comp and been like, fuck yeah, bench press time?
Only thing I get excited for.
No, you don't.
Lockie Horseman benching whatever he benched 200 kilos at that comp the other day was the highlight of the weekend.
I'm like 11 years old.
Was it actually your highlight?
Bro, that was the craziest thing ever.
I'm sick of this guy already.
What was your favorite thing?
Squat, every single squat and every single deadlift.
Oh, squat snooze. That's why there's no squat only competition, because no one likes it.
Oh,
Sorry, go take it back to 2009.
yeah. So wait, what? It's okay. So no single lift comps.
No, we can.
Yeah, you can run a single lift comp.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Deadlift only comp. 0 versus 0 versus 0 versus 0.
Zero Olympics.
Zero Olympics.
Let's do it. All right. What else you got?
I kind of got to go.
Yeah.
I got a meeting soon.
Nice.
Let's call it there, eh? Thanks, Daniel, for coming on. I know you got a very busy schedule, so thank you for fitting us in.
No, you're right. Yeah, I actually got a meeting too. Yeah. But my meeting's more important than his meeting.
Exactly.
The president.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the ZeroW Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, Zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.